Okay, guys, back at the piano, and we're gonna answer a few questions about this speed of attack and the way we play, playing high on a key and focusing the sound on this part instead of this part. This is really good for making certain kinds of sounds that are, especially with impressionist music, very watery sort of things. You would use this if you play Ondine, right? All these sort of things, Clair de Lune by Debussy. Also, a lot of things in Chopin, and it's for making sounds that are not as expressive in a personal way, but more air-like. Let's say we can call this a kind of air-like sound or water-like, more ringing. This is probably the best way to explain it, is ringing sound. Now, even if you're not making a ringing sound, it's still important to control this. It's just that we do go a little lower. Now we're on our not so good upright piano, but even on a not so good upright piano, we can do this. So for the very, very light kind of ringing sound, let's say we have this, we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something like that. 10 is at the bottom. So on a grand, you'll feel the action, the jack and roller. It's going to déclencher, we say. The friction happens somewhere around, let's say 7. So that is where you want to make your sound for the expressive thing. Okay, so the question is, what does this mean, making our sound in this place, in this part of the key? It sounds so technical. So basically what we're doing is, when we play a key, you have weight. So that's the weight of my arm falling down. It's going to make sound. But there's also another factor that we have to consider that's very important, and that's the speed. There's a certain speed that we hit the key. No matter, you don't have to try to do it. No matter how fast or slow you play a key, there's a certain speed in your attack. Either it's a slow one or a fast one. So when you want to do it faster, it's sort of like giving it a little, it's kind of like, the best analogy I can explain is breaking an egg on the edge of a pot. If you break it slowly, it just doesn't work. So you need to give it a little, needs a little speed to your smack there. So this is like, same thing. When you hit the key, whether it's from above the key, it doesn't make a difference, or whether it's on the key, there's still a certain element of speed. So one thing you can try is go on the key and do something like this. So you play upwards, and you'll see that you have to use that speed to fly up off the key. So this is the speed of attack. Now, when we're going in here, it means that we want to go really light, not so much here, and never really like apply the speed very low, hitting there. So we do go to the bottom. You do go to the bottom of the key. You go to the bottom because you follow through with the movement. So in other words, you never play like this. Now I'm just tight. So what I'm doing now is I have a movement to play, and then I block. So this should continue. You see how there's a kind of like, it's the movement that happens after the note is played, but that will affect the way you play it during its attack. So you have to keep playing. If you do this and then this, of course it does nothing. But if you do it as one movement, this is going to affect the sound. So that, I hope that explains this process. So you're going, now when you do this, the exercise in the last video, because you repeat the note, ta-dam, this is forcing you to play fast, A, so you have a high speed, which makes a ringing sound, less of a weight, more speed, ringing sound. Less speed, more weight, more of an earthy, grounded, expressive kind of sound. Less of a watery, floating sound. So you play it twice like this. What happens is you're playing fast, so you have the speed, and because you're making this, playing this note twice and fast, you have to stay at the top of the key, because if you go low, it's not going to play twice. You're going to have something that sounds, instead of going da-dum, it's going to go da-da, right? Because the key, if you go too low in it, it doesn't have time to come all the way back up for your second hit. So that's why this exercise is very good. So let's see if I go too low. See, it didn't work. I'm doing my movement twice, but you end up having this problem. So that's why there's limits to how fast this piano can do this, but just 2 is fine. You can also practice with 3. Now, if I don't follow through, yeah, that's not good. So you need to do your movement, but then the movement continues, so you go all the way to the bottom of the key. This is for different kinds of sounds and controlling the attack. When you come to my masterclass, we're going to talk about controlling the attack, because you have to play in the key as if this is like a cushion. There's like a spring and a trampoline in here. So there's always a cushion that you're working in and bouncing on. It's smooth and never just like that.